You're watching the Border League, presented by the United States Marine Corps, on League Ready. Welcome to Coronado High School for our final contest between LV Orange out of Las Vegas and Dream City Christian from Glendale, Arizona. We're just outside of Las Vegas at Coronado High School. Welcome into the broadcast booth. My name's Anthony Pasquale with Isaac Trotter, and another really fun game on set, and the star power on Dream City is through the roof.
Yeah, it's fun. LV Orange, last night you get AJ DeBonsa. Tonight you get Akenna Alozi, one of the top recruits in the country. Just an elite, strong point guard. Houston's all over him right now on the recruiting trail, but he's far from alone. Every single school in the country wants one of the best point guards in college basketball.
Without a doubt, and it doesn't start there. The rest of the team, pretty much the entire starting lineup, has a star grade attached to them.
Yeah, this is a big-time team coached by Kyle Weaver. This is Braden Bowe. He's out of Utah State. Jalen Holland, he's a Colorado commit. Alejandro Aviles, he's got an offer from Oregon State recently. And then Taco Ifaola, just a ton of high major offers. So LV Orange has their hands full. Last night they lost to Utah Prep with AJ DeBonsa and that unbelievable team. Today's game might be just as tough.
And on the other side of things, LV Orange, the size on their team jumps off the page.
No doubt, and it starts with Chris Boudreau inside. I think his defensive tape is really impressive. His ability to guard multiple positions and then to protect the rim and also out on the perimeter. We'll be able to see a lot, though, from Cameron Cooper as well. Number 14 in orange and black. Just that long, lanky, rangy wing that every team is kind of craving. Keep an eye on number 14.
And the tip is won by Dream City. And here they come on the far side. That's Jalen Holland flipping it over to Akenna Alozi. And inside to him, back out for Braden Bowe, who puts one off the glass, and it's rebounded inside by Boudreau, like you mentioned in the open.
Boudreau's a really nice player. I thought he gave, I mean, you're not going to give AJ DeBonsa trouble, but he had some really good stretches defensively last night against Utah Prep.
We'll see if LV Orange can grab the first points of the ball game. That's Nick Jefferson swinging it into the corner for three. No good. And a rebound from Taco Ifaola.
Ifaola is just enormous. He's 7 feet tall, just a huge space eater. As he continues to grow in this game, like, he's going to have a ton of interest from high majors.
And I think he stepped on the out-of-bounds line. That was Braden Bowe. No, I believe it was a foul, actually.
I thought he stepped out of bounds, too, if it makes you feel better.
And it looks like it's going to stay with Dream City Christian.
But Bowe just recently committed to Utah State there. That's a really, really good program out right now in the Mountain West. So that's a great spot for him to continue to grow his game.
Back on top for Holland. His three just off the mark, and a rebound for LV Orange. And here they come back the other way. On top of the key, it's Nick Jefferson swinging it on the near side for Carmona. Carmona back on top. Cooper swinging it, and it's back to Jefferson. He'll fire a three. Can't get it to go, and another rebound for Dream City Christian, and they'll push the pace and transition the other way. In the corner, Bowe inside. Open look, lays it off the deck, and now off the glass and in. Smooth from Alejandro Aviles, the 4-star. Then we got out of bounds from LV Orange. Their turnover. We'll give it right back to Dream City.
Yeah, Nikolov saw a looming Taco Ifaola inside. He was like, I don't know if I want a piece of that quite yet.
The 7-footer, a 3-star recruit. You mentioned tons of interest around all high major programs.
Yes, Colorado, St. John's, Oklahoma State, Seton Hall, Providence, USC. A lot of teams there that you notice, they like those burly, strong, physical rebounding centers. Ifaola completely checks all those boxes.
He absolutely does. Just missed the left-handed layup there, but he was fouled, so Ifaola heads to the line to try to secure his first points of the ball game. And sticking with our theme from the first few games, bigs who make centers, or bigs who make free throws, I should say. And Ifaola knocks down his first.
Yeah, my heart is fluttering again. It's just really nice to have centers that make their free throws.
And he's 2 for 2 to start things off for Dream City Christian, 4-0. And an inside pass ends up sticking with Dream City. Here they come on the break. A long pass to Ifaola. I thought for a second it might be an alley-oop for Holland. Now here's Holland on the wing, fires a triple himself. Can't get that one to go, and LV Orange knocks it out of bounds trying to attempt the rebound.
That looks smooth, though, from Holland, who just committed to Colorado. Colorado kind of working through some kinks right now with their NIL. On the basketball side, they need the recruiting classes to be big hits. Holland's going to be a huge part of the puzzle for Tad Boyle moving forward.
And I like that you mentioned on the basketball side of things, because it seems like Colorado has figured it out on the football side of things.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And a nice reverse layup there from Alozi. There's a reason he's a 5-star. He looks it.
Yeah, I think everybody with him, the first thing they talk about is the rim pressure, but I think his defense is going to be phenomenal. Just watch one and white defensively. Here he is, getting involved.
And he flips it up and it ends up having to get saved. If Iola tried to secure it, it ends up back with LV Orange right down the lane, and a nice layup there for Nikolov.
Alozi's just his speed and athleticism. It looks like he could easily play football too, like just how strong
Without
he
a
is.
doubt. Here's Ifeola with a slam.
All set up by Alozi, just getting into the middle of the floor. Good things happen in the middle of the floor when you make quick, decisive decisions.
Exactly, and a really good job from Alozi, like you mentioned, to break that pressure. It sets up a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-2 on the other end, and Ifeola's going to take that every time. Swinging the basketball back on the near side, it's Jefferson. And can't go anywhere with it. Braden Bowe with the rebound, trying to push the pace in transition outside to Holland. Holland back to Bowe, way behind the three-point line. It looked like he might spot up. Instead, gets it inside to Ifeola. Back out to Holland, who can't get that one to go. But like you mentioned, the shot looks good. He's going to be a big part of their offense today.
Especially if he keeps getting the ball inside to Ifeola, who has shown a willingness to get the ball back out to the shooters.
Carmona for three. No good, with a rebound from the 6'5" Colorado commit, Jalen Holland. He takes it off a dribble near the free throw line, peels back, tries to make the shot. Can't do it. Cameron Cooper on the rebound.
I love wings who can grab and go. Get a rebound and then push the break in transition.
Cooper lays it up off the glass and in. Nicely done from Cameron Cooper, excuse me.
Yep, good take, good take. Need more of that, and something like that gets you going a little bit.
Braden Bowe to the wing for Aviles. Inside, looking for Elozi, and he can't get the shot off, and he traveled before it anyway.
Still like the read there by Alejandro Aviles. Just recently got an Oregon State offer. I think that makes a lot of sense. Oregon State just lost Tyler Bilodeau. He transferred to UCLA. There's going to be an opening in that front court for a guy who could potentially, be someone who can stretch the floor a little bit, but also the playmaking as well. Of course, he hasn't committed to Oregon State yet, so you don't want to put that out there yet until he actually commits.
Tyler Johnson on the floor now for LV Orange. And we get a whistle. Dream City Christian will take over. Here's Alozi. Alozi waiting for the offense to develop. Working right. Peeling back to fire off the shot, and it hits off the back rim, rebounded by Boudreau.
That's what I'm talking about. Boudreau, comfortability guarding on the perimeter is impressive.
That one just misses. It's going to be covered up by Taco Ifeola. Coming back the other way is Bowe, swinging it on the far side to Holland. Holland into the lane, slips, gets tangled up with a man. I think that'll be blown dead prior. And it'll just be Dream City Christian ball. That's how it looked to me.
Yeah, for sure. The thing, it's just an interesting contrast of styles with Boudreau kind of going up right now against a big man like Taco Ifeola.
Bowe is going to fire a deep three. Can't get that one to go. And a nice offensive rebound by Alozi, the 5-star, putting in some work on the glass.
Yeah, he's a complete player. He can shoot it. He can drive it. He's strong and physical. Again, he has a college-ready frame already. He has so many interests from everybody, Alabama, Houston, whatever. If you just put him in Houston right now, he would fit right in.
Yeah.
And Houston is known for what the work they do in the weight room. He physically looks the part already.
Yeah, we were talking in the last game about how some of the recruits from Florida Eagles looked like they belonged on Creighton and belonged on Indiana or fit with Villanova and the play style they have. it's really starting to come across when you look at these players, why they're getting recruited by those programs.
Yeah,
they could sub right in.
The DNA. It's like that's what they look for, and it's 100% a thing. I love the coaching staffs that have an identity of what the guys that they want to bring into their program.
Sure.
And Alosi checks off those boxes for teams like Houston or Alabama.
Braden Bowe got the cleanup to go, picks up 2 points there to make it 11-4. Dream City Christian just looking like a little bit too much for LV Orange early on.
Yeah, Holland there, I think he missed a couple jumpers early and like just trying to do a little bit too much with that ball pressure. I like the effort defensively, just trying to avoid that reach to avoid a cheap foul.
This Dream City Christian team also only 9 players listed. So not a ton of depth if they were to get into some foul trouble, which is why these players have to play so smart. And they're trying to get a takeaway. That's going to end up being, I believe, a foul on LV Orange.
Well, here's like the thing, like you're saying, oh, they look a little bit overmatched, LV Orange does, and you're right, but like this team won the state championship in Nevada last year. Like this just shows like they're kind of playing a little bit up in weight class, playing against some of the best teams in the country, not necessarily just the best teams in the state of Nevada. Just basketball there are levels to this in basketball sometimes.
Absolutely, and that Blue Hoops team we saw in the earlier window, that's a product of Nevada as well. So this LV Orange team, kind of the cream of the crop in the state that's hosting the Border League today.
Yeah, and what do we know about Vegas? Like it's become a basketball hotbed. Like it's so important. Basketball is important out there, and we've seen some of the top talented teams, be able to come in and compete against some of the best teams in the country. Maybe not beat them, but they're going to compete.
And you got to give some credit, too, to the Las Vegas Aces for kind of spearheading that interest in basketball in Las Vegas with some of the success that they've had over the last half decade.
Great sports town, great basketball town, and especially like there's just so many events in basketball, like both from the NBA with Summer League and everything else in between. College tournaments are going to heat up out there too. Like Vegas is a hotbed for basketball from the high school ranks, at the NBA ranks, WNBA, and in college.
Team USA plays there in the off seasons, right? There's a lot of. I wonder if there is ever any type of expansion in the NBA. You got to think Vegas gets a team.
No doubt.
Here's Nick Jefferson, gets it inside. Working on Bowe, trying to free himself up, gets the shot off. That's Cameron Cooper, and he's fouled.
That's part of the evolution there for Taco Ifaola of just understanding like how to be a shot blocker, like who's going in just vertical instead of like necessarily hacking down and potentially drawing that attention for a potential foul.
We'll see if they're able to get the business done at the free throw line here to try to narrow this deficit. It's early, 9 minutes and 27 seconds left here in the first half. Dream City Christian on top 12-5 after that first free throw from Cameron Cooper. Cameron Cooper was knocked down.
Cooper is the guy offensively that I just think that LV Orange, they will go as far as he takes them. I thought yesterday the same thing, and it's going to apply again today. Like they need him to be aggressive.
And Alosi, it does enough to direct that shot in a different way. Here's Ifaola again, slamming it home. Dream City Christian has found their bread and butter, and it's Ifaola 3 feet from the rim.
Easiest shot in basketball is either a free throw or a layup or a dunk. So, I'll take dunks.
Dream City Christian takes over. You got Brendan Peterson into the ball game now. And he has it on the far side of your screen, inside to Ifaola once more. And he's fouled going up for that shot. It's just so hard to not foul him.
He's just too big. He's just way, way too big.
7 foot. You can tell why he's getting some interest. It's just a tough guard for anybody.
Yeah, he is. He is super physical, and I think just as you progress in the game of knowing like how to seal defenders and most importantly, just like carve out space inside, that's huge. He's gonna get better too as he continues to progress. Like that development for bigs, it's like sometimes it just takes a little while to get there.
And he knocks that one in as well. 15-5 is the Dream City Christian lead. 8:44 to go in the first half. We're gonna have a timeout from LV Orange to talk things over. It's 15-5. If you're LV Orange and if you're head coach Grant Rice, what are you talking about right now about trying to keep this game from getting out of hand?
Well, you're just trying to get good shots, and I felt like for a little while, especially in the half court, they haven't. Maybe it's a situation where, hey, we're going to make the 7-footer guard in space. We're going to try to get him into some ball screens, try to drag him away from the basket so that we can get shots at the rim. But it's easier said than done when you're going up against this type of length and athleticism and the ball pressure, too. This Dream City Christian team, we talked a lot about their offense, but I think their defensive bite is really noticeable.
And if you're talking about Dream City Christian, what's the message to those guys? Like, hey, keep the foot on the gas. We need to, not give anything up.
No doubt. And this is a situation where, LV Orange played again last night. They got beat by a really, really talented Utah Prep team. Can we just not necessarily finish the game right now, but can we put like our stamp on it where it's like, all right, we have the lead and we're in kind of cruise control mode. Sometimes you can kind of take the life out of a team with an early knockout punch.
Absolutely. Atuka Bakdadze is in the game for Dream City Christian. He's the one defending right there. And here comes Nick Jefferson laying it off the glass and in. A nice move to float it up off the top part of the glass. When you first learn to play basketball, they teach you about the little square. As LV Orange comes away with a takeaway here, more on that in a second. Off the glass, can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Bakdadze. Coming back the other way, Dream City Christian lays it up and in. That's Jalen Holland.
Yesterday, LV Orange. Oh boy, that was what an explosive, violent athlete Ken Alozie is. But yesterday, LV Orange really used pressure defense to get themselves back in that game against Utah Prep, kind of changed it a little bit. So if they're scoring here, look for them to get back into that full court press, whether that's a 2-2-1 or whether that's a full out man-to-man pressure. That's a way for them to try to change up the tempo of this game and get back into it.
We'll see if they're able to do just that. If Iola jumped into Nikolov on the way down.
Second cheap foul for Fiola that he's going to probably want back.
Absolutely, and we'll see how much of a leash Grant Rice, Dream City Christian gives Ifeola with the 2 fouls early. But I was going to mention, when you're a little kid and you learn how to shoot the basketball, they teach you if you hit it inside that square, it's going to go in. But you see so many guys now manipulating the glass, floating it high off the glass, a little bit of English on the side. And we saw that on the last time down the floor from Nick Jefferson, floating it up off the top of the glass. That's such an interesting part of the game to perfect and put in your bag.
The touch is through the roof. The skill and touch from some of the younger players in our sport is just awesome. And I think the game's in a really healthy space.
Here comes Holland down low to Alozie, and he delicately places it in. He could have gotten the slam. Here's Holland. On a crossover, getting it back up the court. Dream City Christian up by 10.
There's that pressure I was talking about from LV Orange.
Kenna Alozie down into the lane on the reverse. Tries to put some English on it, can't get it to go, but Ifeola sure does.
Great rebound, just so active. And with 2 fouls, not pushing off. That's also important as well, and he gets himself a chance at an old-fashioned three-point play. But again, I love the rim pressure from Alozie. Rim pressure, rim pressure, rim pressure. I think there's a consistent theme with the teams that are most successful, both the high school ranks, NBA ranks, and in college. It's those teams that can constantly get to the rim.
Ifeola can't complete the three-point play, and it comes back to LV Orange. They're on the near side now, and it gets knocked out of bounds. It's going to stick with LV Orange. Active hands from Dream City Christian trying to revert possession back and start the transition, but instead it's just LV Orange taking things back over here on the near side. Now onto the far side, and all they need to do is just get open looks and knock them down. They got the look they wanted there, couldn't get it to fall, but an offensive rebound from LV Orange. That was Kingston Carmona, but he was denied by the rim once more. Here's Brendan Peterson, driving right, throwing it across the court.
Good work there from Asamoah to refuse to let them rotate it to Alozie.
And Holland couldn't get that one to fall. LV Orange takes over. LV Orange is getting the stops it needs on the other end. They're just not converting on the offensive side.
Yeah, they're just fine defensively right now.
Jefferson frees himself up, instead gives it away. Now he's into the lane. Tries to contort his shot over Ifeola, and he does.
You can tell like those type of small guards who've had to play against bigger and older defenders for a while because they just have every move in the book when they get into the paint. They know they're not going to get a layup. But that little float game over a 7-footer, like that is tough stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like a fadeaway from the block. Like you're able to free yourself up to get a look. And then right after the basket, Kingston Carmona able to force a turnover, and now it comes back the other way after a travel, and it's LV Orange ball again.
Alozi has like magnets for hands. He just like the ball, he just finds a way to get his hands on everything. That's another deflection.
21-11, 6 minutes and 16 seconds to go. And we're going to have another foul there. It looked like that was Nick Jefferson getting fouled by Alozi. You said his hands always find the basketball. That time it found the body.
We're not supposed to talk about that, though. But I think it's an impressive here thing from LV Orange, just consistently finding a way to get right back into this game. Like, yes, like you might be a little bit undermanned and maybe you don't have like that 5-star talent, but your ability to just continue to string together positive possessions, both on offense and defense, get to the free throw line, that's huge.
6 minutes and 12 seconds to go. It is Jefferson at the free throw line. And he knocks it down. 21-12 now. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half. Dream City Christian up by 9.
I'm going to try to announce or jinx us our way into the first three-pointer of the game being made. These teams are combined 0 for 9. I hope that changes here soon.
And a nice athletic move from Atuka Baktadze on the second chance. Is this the first three of the ball game? A little bit short, rebounded by Alozi. Here he comes in transition, loses the handle of it a little bit. Baktadze on the other side. Braden Bowe for three. No good.
Usually leaving him open is a bad idea for defenses, but LV Orange escaped with it there.
And I think that's going to be a travel before the shot. It was Dino Roberts freeing himself up, but could not get that one to go.
23-12 right now. Dream Christian, think about this. They are shooting 64% on twos. When they get into the rim, like they are not missing very much. That's a great ratio to shoot 64%. Bo gets a wide open look for three, and he still misses it. Another good look from three and unable to connect.
And I feel like you might have deeper announcer jinxed us here. We still can't get the first three of the ball game. But 23-12 is our score. You're watching the Border League presented by the U.S. Marines. Here's another three. That one no good. And a rebound attempt from LV Orange flying in but can't get it to go. Coming back the other way, Dream City Christian Alozi into the lane. Acrobatically off the glass and in. Beautiful move from Ikenna Alozi. You could see why there's a 5-star rating attached to him. Let's take another look here.
Look at that push in transition, behind the back, shimmy shake, up and under. It's just too easy. It's just too easy. I just can't get over his frame. That's a high school kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just his frame is just so strong.
He looks like he belongs in college right now.
No doubt. No doubt. I think he could be an impact defender in college for a ton of college teams. You don't want to go so far as to be like, oh, he could start for X amount of teams in college basketball, but it certainly feels like he could be in a lot of rotations. And that's like the beauty of it, too. Like, you see what he can do to elevate a guy like Braden Bowe, to elevate Jalen Holland. You know, he makes a guy like Taco Ifaola, his life so much easier in transition when you know you have a stud point guard that's constantly drawing a second defender and, hey, I just need to take the open looks that are available.
He's so big and he's so strong, but he's the shortest guy in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe that if I didn't tell you.
No doubt.
Here's Nick Jefferson on the far side for LV Orange. Little head fake trying to free up some room for Cooper, and that's who has it at the top of the key.
Look at Alozi just battling down inside against Boudreaux in the middle of the paint.
Cooper spinning it away off the glass, no good, and a rebound comes back the other way for Dream City. Ahead to Braden Bowe, and I think we got a whistle before. It looked like Dino Roberts freed himself up, or excuse me, Brendan Peterson freed himself up for a layup, but it's going back the other way.
And here comes Ilan Nikolov checking back in the game for LV Orange. I thought he made some really good cuts, especially his ability to curl it off of a couple pin downs. He's gotten into the middle of the paint, hasn't converted, and now it gets a little time to rest on the bench. Again, remember, second game in 2 days. Maybe this is a chance for him to get back going. But he moves out the basketball really, really well.
25-12, 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Dream City Christian on top of LV Orange. LV Orange with it now. Tries a little backdoor cut here. And an athletic meet me at the rim from Alozi, but a little bit too much contact. And that'll send LV Orange's Chris Boudreau to the line.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like the point guard is jousting with the opposing center at the rim. Like that's just usually the center is always going to win that. And technically Boudreau did by drawing the foul, but good Lord. That explosiveness, that power, that bounce from Alozi is certainly noticeable.
I think the biggest thing you just said was that last point, the bounce. He looks like he can get up to any part of the rim, any part to shot contest. He just belongs there, even though he might not be at the same stature as some of these other guys.
Yeah, you're like kind of wondering, like, hey, what's the air like up there? Like, because his bounce is a little bit different. Right now, 4 minutes left. If you're LV Orange, it's like, can we get a kill? Can we get 3 stops in a row? Because you just can't really let Dream City Christian get this lead any farther up than this with how stifling this defense has been.
Got an offensive foul there. That was Boudreau taking the charge on the other end. Now can they get anything going offensively?
Like I said earlier, Boudreau's defensive tape is pretty good. You just see different clips from him, not just his mobility and not just the rim protection, but even there, just smartly knowing when to take a charge on someone who is out of control driving down the lane. Like that's pretty smart.
That puts LV Orange in the bonus now.
Unbelievable rear view contest there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just everything he does on the defensive side of things is just impacted because he's so athletic.
Good cut.
Bo tries to find him, and there he goes down the lane, peels it back up. That's Alozi. Alozi now working on Jefferson, gets a little ankle breaker, but gets it poked out of his hand, and instead taking it to the rim is Alejandro Aviles.
Strong
and
finish.
one.
Strong finish. And that's like the thing, too, about this Dream City Christian Club. Like, their bigs come at you again. It's like Aviles is coming to the show. We've seen Bakhtazi get after it on the offensive glass. We know what Taco Ifaola has been able to do as well. So they have 3 bigs that, if you're Coach Kyle Weaver, you feel really, really good about that trio.
Yeah, and Ifaola's been on the bench for a little while with a couple of fouls, and the people that have stepped in, Bakhtazi you mentioned, you don't even notice that he's not there. You're still up by 15. Braden Bowe came away with the offensive rebound here. And now it's Brendan Peterson setting things up for Dream City. 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Another offensive foul on Aviles.
I like the aggressiveness, though, from Aviles. Just, I think he lowered his shoulder a little bit. I think that looked worse than maybe it actually was.
Yeah, I think sometimes if you catch the defender off balance a little bit, that charge looks like you absolutely shoved him. And I think that might be a product of what we saw there. And there you see the 5-star on the other end, Alozi, taking a charge on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Alozi, like, I thought he was going to go try to stuff the center again. He's going to go try it up and not let him dunk on him. But a charge works as well, too. I've been really impressed with him defensively. Today, we've seen some incredible shot making. Kalina Smith in Game 1. In Game 3, we saw what Braden Burries did. But the defensive impact that we've seen from McKenna Alozi here in Game 4 is as impressive as anything we've seen offensively, I think, today.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, like you show the ability to get up at the rim. So as soon as that guy steps up on the offense, you're thinking you need a little bit of a head of steam. Then he sets up and takes the charge. Like he's almost baiting you into that.
Counters to the counters. He's got a little bit of everything. Good pass.
Bakhtazi down low gets that to go. Really nice pass, setting that up. And Dream City Christian adds 2 more.
Hey, that high-low stuff, and not every team is running that high-low anymore, but it still could be effective in times.
Here's Brendan Peterson taking that away. Gets that to go off the glass and in. Beautiful there.
Look how he shielded the ball away from the defender there and is able to cup it and scoop it in. That's just really, really high level.
I feel like that's something that so many younger players are able to do is Bakhtazi can't get the alley-oop finish, but like you were saying, that shielding of the body, that's so present in this modern-day game. Everybody needs to know how to do that.
Absolutely. Although I think Bakhtazi might have blown a tire there a little bit. He wants that one back. The cut.
Really nice cut, but it gets taken away by Dream City Christian, and they'll try to push the pace once more. Here's Brendan Peterson.
Man, again, that's Nikolov again. You just see that he can definitely think the game through, just not able to finish quite yet.
On the far side, that's Braden Bowe, and there's our first three of the ball game. Braden Bowe knocks that one in to make it 34-12. LV Orange needs an answer.
Jared Calhoun at Utah State's going to love that.
And another rebound for Alozi. We're under 2 minutes to go in the first half. And Aviles off the glass and in. Easy play for the guy who just got an offer from Oregon State.
Yeah, you just see Dream City Christian is just pouring it on right now. Great defense, quick shots from LV Orange, and Dream City Christian getting out in transition, getting to the rim, and getting easy buckets. Just layup after layup after layup after layup. Dream City Christian shooting 70% on twos here in the first half. That's good math.
Absolutely. It's a 24-point lead now for Dream City Christian. What does LV Orange need to do to make this a game?
You know, they have to quit giving up easy shots at the rim. You're not going to win many games. You know, right now, LV Orange has given up 17 shots at the rim. And think about this, 14 of 17 at the rim right now. For Dream City Christian, like, you just have to find a way to be more impactful. Now, part of that is not just Boudreau, who I think is a pretty solid rim protector, but he's not on the floor right now. It takes everybody else. And another big part of it is just don't turn it all over, or just don't take some of those bad shots that are leading to some of these runouts for Dream City Christian.
And now LV Orange has possession, 1 minute and 39 seconds. So they should touch it at least twice, maybe a third time before the end of this half, but it's not about the touches, it's about the quality of the touches. What can they do to try to narrow this deficit before the half? They trail by 24 right now, and it's currently Tyler Johnson with it, and he gets the floater to fall.
I like getting 2 feet in the paint. I'll continue to do that. Good things happen when you can get 2 feet in the paint and start collecting the defense. Sometimes basketball is so much simpler. It's just like, can we get 2 defenders to the basketball? Getting into the paint does that.
And now you see some of that pressure, some of that trap attempt. Here's Peterson. He's going to knock down a triple. 39-14, left him wide open, and he said, thank you very much.
Yeah, he knows what to do with it right there, just stroking it from deep downtown. Like, that was well beyond the NBA line.
51 seconds left. Another three. Now we're trading triples. That one falls off the hands of Dino Roberts.
Paint touch, 3, bang. Like, the game can be kind of simple at that time.
39-17 with a little over 30 seconds to go in the half. In the corner, here's Peterson once more. He fired another triple.
Stay hot.
Here comes Nick Jefferson back the other way. Here's that third touch. Another 3. That one's short. Not the best look.
Do not like that shot, especially no time in score right now. So now they could have settled for one more shot. Instead, they take an iffy 3 in transition, and Dream City Christian gets to have the last shot of the first half.
Braden Bowe with it now. Working on the right side. Spins off of his man, tries to float it off the glass, can't get it to go, but I think that will do it for the first half. Not quite enough time for LV Orange to spin around and fire a full court heave. So that's the end of the first half. 42-17 is our score. It feels like the level of competition is pretty similar. Like, LV Orange is competing, they're just not putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, the execution-wise as well, just the ability for Dream City Christian to get shots at the rim. They are now 15 of 18 at the rim. Like, it's hard when you're giving up that many points in the paint at the easiest shot in basketball.
Absolutely. It's a 25-point lead for Dream City Christian over LV Orange. You're watching the Border League, presented by the United States Marine Corps on League Ready. You are watching the Border League, presented by the United States Marine Corps. On League Ready. All right, let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Shot Tracker for this contest. Dream City Christian up 42-17. Isaac, what's popping for you?
I'm really looking at the shots at the rim. It doesn't necessarily see it, but 55% at the field. If you see the shot chart, it's 14 of 17 at the rim. That type of success from Dream City Christian is kind of where they're at right now. Those points in the paint, they're getting them from everywhere. It's Taco Ifaola, it's Alejandro Aviles, it's Atuka Baktazi getting on the offensive glass, and then, of course, the five-star Kenna Olozi, just a walking paint touch. So I feel like Dream City Christian has completely dominated the rim on both ends, and that's kind of why they're up 42-17 right now.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing now. It's LV Orange with the ball to start the half. What do they need to do and do early in the half to make this a game?
Well, I think it kind of keeps back to taking good shots and then letting your offense set up your defense. Sometimes your best defense can be scoring. Make them take it out of the net, make them run offensive sets, and you get your defense set. So getting good shots offensively can help bolster this defensive group.
There you see Boudreaux start things off for LV Orange with a nice lay. Here's Ifeola, and he gets that to go.
Paint touch, layup. It's a tough game when you cannot keep teams away from the paint. And LV Orange just switched everything defensively. They might have to try to just stay home with Boudreaux inside.
There's some contact there, and it ends up getting deflected out of play by Alejandro Aviles. It'll stick with LV Orange.
Because right now, like when they're switching everything, it just feels like Ifeola can just get a post touch against whoever the smaller defender is, and then they just play from there. It's constantly creating advantages.
And that was Cameron Cooper. Now coming around on the outside was Nikolov. Here's Cooper on the far side now, driving toward the baseline. Gets it into the lane, and he's fouled, so he'll head to the line. That's another thing, putting pressure, right?
Really good take there. I like that little jab step wiggle and able to get into the middle of the floor to his strong right hand and get to the free throw line. I mean, you just look at his frame and how athletic he is and the length he is. I mean, look at how his arms are. Like, they're almost touching his knees. It feels like his hands could almost touch his knees with that wingspan. He is going to be a guy that should shoot 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 free throws every single game. Like, when he is not shooting free throws, like, that doesn't make sense to me because he could just get wherever he wants on the floor at times.
And he makes the first, cutting it to 24. And that second one is in and out. Alozi with the rebound. He'll take it up the court slowly. They have a 24-point lead, which is a really nice cushion to start a half with. But I think there's still an aspect of, trying to keep your foot on the gas, right?
No question. No question.
And that was Cooper fighting for the rebound, and it ends up off of him. So it's going to stick with Dream City Christian off of the Alozi miss.
Because there's no question that Dream City Christian is entering this year trying to win a national championship. Like, that's the goal for this group. And that's a mentality that has to be in play, 24/7.
Braden Bowe gets that off his leg, and then it goes to Aviles and off his leg and out of bounds. So a turnover.
I thought that was a really good entry pass. I know entry passes aren't cool in college basketball now, but Braden Bowe, that was a good one right there.
I'm sure he'll be doing quite a bit of that at Utah State come next fall. As Cooper is able to get that one to go early on, and now it's 44-22.
You see his comfort when he gets to that right hand, that dominant right hand. He's a nice little player when he's able to get there.
Here's Alozi down the lane, uses his body and able to get that one to go. Really nice move from Alozi.
Good hands there by Braden Bowe just to continue just to keep playing, because Cooper would have had a wide open three there. Way to push the tempo by Nick Jefferson. More of that from LV Orange.
We've said this in the other 3 games, that there's been like 1 or 2 players that it always seems like they're around the ball. Tati Griffin was the one in the first game, the girls' game. As that one is drained, Cooper is feeling himself to start the half.
Need every bit of it. That's his game right now. Just drive it, mix in a 3, then get back to driving it.
What I was going to say is I feel like Braden Bowe is that guy for Dream City Christian. He just always seems to be near good things happening.
Absolutely, and you need winning players like that who, how often have we seen Braden Bowe get the ball in the middle of the floor and take a tough contested 2-point jumper? Like, we haven't seen that. But his ability just to be an impactful role player is huge for what this group wants to become.
Right, because you don't necessarily need him to be that scorer when you have Alozi and you have Ifeola. There you see him right there in position to get that offensive rebound, but there's going to be a foul Alejandro Aviles.
And if Aviles had a little bit more room, he could have easily found Bo there on the cut. Another 45 cut right into the middle of the floor and able to put himself in a position to score. But Aviles gets to the free throw line.
46-25 is the score. Aviles leaves that first one short. 13 minutes and 26 seconds left in this one.
Again, be on the lookout here. Like if LV Orange can score, I think they're going to want to try to keep pressing. So we'll see if that's something new that comes into play here to start the second half.
And I think that's going to be a foul on Cameron Cooper.
Kind of an odd exchange there. I didn't see a ton of contact. I thought their legs just got tied up, but I was wrong.
And that's his third foul of the ball game. We'll see.
Just got to keep him out there, right?
You
at this
do.
point.
He's been your only offense here in the second half. Here's Aviles working on Cooper once again.
Wow, that was risky, but he gets away with it.
Gutsy offensive foul because you could kind of see him decide to take it because you could have just been physical there, but you decided to fall down, right?
Yeah, he set him up with that. He bumped him twice, or bumped him once, bumped him twice, and then on that third one, he was ready for the blow and gets the call.
Now let's see if he can do it on the offensive end again. Dino Roberts back outside to Boudreaux. Now here's Jefferson. Behind the back, frees himself up to take that look. Couldn't get it to go, and a rebound for Ifeola. But then we're going to get a tie-up here.
A little bit more physicality here after the play was over. I don't think I would want to mess with Taco Ifeola. I do not think I would.
Definitely wouldn't be my first choice. Let's take another look. So it was Boudreaux and Ifeola.
Just fighting for the loose ball. Don't want to let it go.
And it's going to be Dream City Christian ball. Here's a three from Aviles. Can't get it to go. Rebound comes to Tyler Johnson.
If Aviles wants to maximize his value as a stretch big, like that jumper has to be a big part of his arsenal.
And Johnson misses that one. Rebound from Bo, and he'll get it up the court with some pace. Gets to his left hand. Tries to lay it in with the right, and it's going to be Chris Boudreaux with the foul.
Again, not to bring up the shot chart again for the millionth time, but it just feels like that's the game for Dream City Christian right now. Just their ability to they've taken one mid-range jumper so far. Everything else is right at the rim. So they're taking threes or shots at the rim, and that's like the analytical model that most teams are trying to do. Now, it's hard to do sometimes, but Dream City Christian is executing it at a high level today, not taking many of those bad twos.
And it's right at the rim. And on the shots that you get from outside the perimeter, it's usually on kickouts or offensive rebounds, which is also the high percentage threes.
Right. Those off-the-dribble threes tend to be the lowest value shots, and Dream City Christian is not taking a ton of them.
Here's Cooper. That three-pointer is blocked by Aviles. Here comes Taco Ifeola in transition with a slam. They've doubled up LV Orange. It's 50-25.
That rim over there is still shaking a little bit.
Oh, man. That three is off the mark. Rebound from Boudreaux. He tries to step in there and jam it back, but Ifeola got him with some contact. That'll be his third foul. But let's see what he did on the other end just now.
Boom. Yeah, that's a big man moving really fluidly. I think if you're Boudreaux right now, it's like it's tough. You're down by 25. You're a little bit undersized compared to some of the guys in this front court. They're deeper. They're a little bit more fresh than you. But I just like the activity level there, just to keep working on the offensive glass and try to find ways to impact the game, because they've kind of sat all over his bread and butter moves, but he can find a way to impact the game even if the offense has been a little tough to come by.
And Boudreaux can't get the first one to go. He's a 6'10" forward.
I think just adding strength will continue to be really huge for him as he kind of packs on weight. That frame looks like he could add plenty of weight on and really turn into a monster.
And he's got a smooth shot as well. He makes that second one there. A 6'10" guy, not afraid to shoot the three.
And block shots.
And that's Braden Bowe. That one gets knocked, it looked like off of his leg, but the officials say it's staying with Dream City. That's got to be a nice place, Dream City. It seems like a good place to go. And here's a three-point attempt from Alozi. Can't get it to go, but Bo with another offensive rebound. Now Aviles back to Azoli. He's going to drive in and slam, attempt it, and he's stuffed by the rim. Here's that three we were just talking about from Boudreaux. Can't get it to go. Ifeola clears it, coming back the other way. Braden Bowe, a spin move, freezes up right hand off the glass and in. Really nice move from Braden Bowe.
I love that lefty dribble to spin back to your right hand. That is really tight and hard to guard. If you could stay under control, like, that's a cheat code.
11 minutes to go in the contest. Open on the wing, driving it into the lane was number 5, Dino Roberts, but he gets denied. Dino, that ends up going in. An alley-oop attempt to Alozi. Braden Bowe on the flip. Here's Dino Roberts on the other end, knocking home a triple. I can't believe that went in from Alozi.
Alozi can't believe that the dunk missed, but he's a little stunned that the little float game went on the alley-oop and went in.
Back the other way, Forge, LV Orange. Tyler Johnson gets a smooth left-handed lay, cutting the lead to 23. Picking up the pace here in the last couple of sequences.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We're not necessarily grinding in the half court here a little bit.
Alozi back out to Aviles. He fires a triple. Can't get that one to go. And if Ifeola falls out of bounds trying to save that one, it's going to go back with LV Orange. Looked like that was a cameraman that helped him up there.
If I'm a cameraman, I'm just trying to make sure my legs don't get caught up underneath that one. It's a big boy.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You can see him kind of flexing his leg over there, too.
Let's see if LV Orange can get Caden Cooper another touch. Nope, he's on the bench. He just checked out.
They come up the floor quick. Got some pace here. That's down low to Carmona. Over here to Tyler Johnson, who loses it out of bounds. The officials say it stays with LV Orange. A lot of contact there with the ball. And I think it was last touched by Aviles and White. 9:59. And you can kind of see Nick Jefferson calling out signals from the baseline. Still not in bounds yet, and now he is. Back on top, Nikolov for three. Schmack! 54-34.
Basketball tends to reward those players that do things the right way. And Nikolov, like we talked about earlier, just the cutting and moving and finding open space and not staying in one spot, he gets rewarded with the jumper.
He sure does. But on the other side of things, Jalen Holland, a guy whose name we haven't called out all too much as of late, gets fouled. And it looks like he's going to head to the line here.
Holland, again, a big piece of a Colorado class of 2025 recruiting haul. It's going to be one of the top. It's one of the top ranked ones right now, depending on which service you look at. But this is a situation where Colorado really has to lean into the prep recruiting ranks just because they're the portal right now. There's going to be less guys in the portal moving forward, which means that they're, because of the COVID years gone, which means guys like this are going to be way more invaluable just because the players in the portal are going to be even more expensive. So if you're able to hit on freshmen like Holland, that's a big deal for your roster construction.
Nikolov knocks down another triple. Really smooth, rhythmic shot there.
Looks good. He looks really good. Now he's fighting inside against a 7-footer. Not much else you can do there.
Yeah, and ends up getting it over his head, and Ifeola able to drop that in the bucket to extend the lead back to 20 for Dream City Christian. We're going to have a 30-second timeout here. I like what LV Orange has been doing here in the second half. They're starting to finally make shots. Now the defense is lacking a little bit, and they can't keep Dream City Christian off the board.
Yeah, there's just way too many mismatches here, and Nikolov is certainly fighting, trying to play over the top, but there's no weak side rotation there, and you can go over the top for an easy layup. There's just not enough rim protection on this LV Orange roster right now, so that whenever Boudreaux's out of the game, it feels like, you know, a Dream City Christian can kind of get whatever they want inside.
Yeah, Boudreaux is 6'10". The next closest player is 4'6" players. Kingston Carmona and Cameron Cooper, who we've seen. Cooper's also on the bench right now. And then Trey McKinney and Jet Washington, who we have not seen much of yet. When you take Boudreaux off the floor, and again, still Ifeola and Baktadze are still 2 inches taller.
Right.
But when you take him off, they have a 6-inch advantage on everybody on the floor.
Right. And it's just sometimes just the Johnnies and Joes. That's just the difference of it. When you just have that more raw size, it's different. Now, granted, there are some advantages that LV Orange can have with Nikolov right here. Look at, he has a center having to chase him around some screens. That's the advantage of playing Nikolov at the 5. You can see that offensively where he's making big men go into really uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, we'll see if Nikolov, his offense has certainly stepped it up for LV Orange. They've been relying on him heavily over the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, 8 quick points there from him.
A really good defense at the other end, trying to secure the rebound, and it's going to be out of bounds. Holland stepped out just barely, and that was all generated by Nikolov.
I was going to say, everybody looks better when their shots going in, but Nikolov has played a really nice game today, even before the jumpers were going in.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. It's one of those things that, again, going back to the charting that you were talking about, Nikolov would probably chart pretty well today, despite, maybe not showing up in the score sheet until as of late. Nice backdoor pass there, freeing things up for LV Orange. Here he gets open again on the far wing, and he knocks down another triple.
Big time stuff there. Big time stuff. He could have pulled that 3. He chose not to, got a better shot, and gets the ball back. Give it up, and you will get it back.
Here's Baktadze for 3, no good, and a rebound from Nikolov. What was once a 25-point game is now a 15-point game, and Nikolov is a big reason why.
Going small has really worked.
On the outside, had a look, passed it up, takes a much tougher shot, but we got an offensive rebound, and that one's missed too. Tie up for a second. They are going to call a jump ball, and I believe the possession arrow is with LV Orange.
Now, Dream City Christian, you just have to settle down here and run offense and get the ball inside because you have so much size at 4 of 5 positions right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's a straight-up 10-0 run. I think it's something like 14-4 or 12-2, something like that. But you're still up 15. Like, there's no reason to hit the panic button. Just play your basketball.
Right now, you're just trying to get a good shot, and here that pressure is coming. If you can break it, there are layups to be had on the back end.
And here's Braden Bowe getting himself back into the game and into the action. And Alozi also on the far end. Holds it, brings it in, and we might have a tip in, a goaltend.
I think that's offensive goaltending, no basket. That ball was still on the rim. And look, again, Dream City Christian has sort of left the door open here. Yeah, that ball clearly still in the cylinder. And Baktadze, his tip-in gets nullified.
Nikolov, despite, being really hot right now, hasn't done anything like heat check-wise,
Yeah. Good adjustment there, though, by Dream City Christian. Instead of having a 5 guard Nikolov, they've gone back to putting a smaller Braden Bowe on him.
Alozi fires a triple, and he knocks it down. That just looks like a guy who should be playing in Houston red and white right now.
Yeah, no. Houston, Alabama, and insert any really good high major. He'd fit in just well.
Here's Nikolov on the far side. Go ahead.
So nice having a point guard who understands the situation. Oh, little stress. Like, oh, it's down to 15. No problem. I'll come in. Oh, I get a paint touch that gets nullified. All right, I'll just knock down a 3 and crisis averted. We're back up 18.
A deep 3 from LV Orange off the inside of the rim and a nice rebound from Alozi. We've seen him very active on the glass. I would not be surprised if he's approaching a double-double of his own this afternoon.
Look at the violence with the way he drives. It's just like his quick twitch is just so different compared to some of the other people on the floor.
Here's Bowe. He's going to fire a deep triple, and he knocks it down. A smooth shot from Braden Bowe.
When in trouble, go to Bowe and go to Alozi. Your 2 veterans who are going to play high major college basketball, they're getting you out of trouble.
Yeah, and it's back up to 21 just like that. That shot falls. 63-44 is your score with just under 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Dream City Christian playing a really good brand of basketball today. And LV Orange really just hasn't had the answers. Gets it ahead to Peterson, down low to Alozi. Off the glass and in. Too easy for the 5-star.
Yeah, now Dream City Christian shooting over 70% on 2s. And a bunch of those are at the rim. It's kind of a weird foul.
That was a very weird foul from Dino Roberts. Just looked like he was trying to catch his breath and catch a ride down the floor, but he did it to the guy that had the basketball.
Yeah, please blow the whistle. Please blow the whistle.
You're going back to the last game, we saw the number 10 player in the country, Caleb Gaskins. Braden Burry's the number 11. This game, you've got Alozi. He's the number 12th ranked on the ESPN rankings. You're starting to see why 10, 11, and 12 in this border league. These guys are the real deal.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, the level of skill and athleticism and just touch.
Braden Bowe tried to slam one home. That's the second time on that end of the floor that Dream City Christian has been unable to slam it.
Yeah, weird rim over there.
Maybe it's half an inch high. What a pass. Braden Bowe this time doesn't try to slam it and lays it in. But, wow, what a pass from Alozi.
Yeah, that's just the total
75% of the court.
Complete package right there.
Very athletic finish from Nick Jefferson there.
But I'm just seeing, like, just the touch and the skill and the IQ. Like, basketball's in such a good place right now when you have guys, like, who are in high school that are playing at this type of level. Like, it just really shows you how good, like, the player development is and just how talented some of these guys can be.
Brennan Peterson knocks down that triple to make it 70 to 46. Let's take another look at that near full court pass from Alozi. Isaac, take us through it.
Gets the rebound, and that's an Andre Curbelo. Oh, and look at the little full court with the little wrinkle on it to bounce it back right into Braden Bowe's pocket for a layup. Like, are we sure he isn't a quarterback? Because that was a dot.
Absolutely. I mean, it's college football Saturday, and he looks like he belongs in that as well.
Keep an eye on 14 and white here. Chris Brown, a really young guy, but you talk to some people, and it's like, man, he has a super high ceiling. So he's still working through the kinks a little bit, kind of finding his way. This is a veteran-laden team with some really good players at the top that he's learning from, but 14 and white is going to be a pretty darn good player one day, Chris Brown.
Back Totsi sticks it back out. And that is another one just drained by Brennan Peterson. These shots aren't even hitting the net. They're going straight through.
Yeah, he has 4 of their 7 threes in this game. He is a flamethrower.
Without a doubt. You see Dream City Christian, only a nine-player team, emptied out the bench. So we're seeing our first look at Chris Brown, like you mentioned, and Ihikwe Asamusta.
Check out this rebound advantage as well. Dream City Christian out rebounding LV Orange 40-21. That's just, it's utter dominance.
For 3, just a little bit short, and it's rebounded by Dream City Christian. Our first look at Noah Grossman as well. He has the ball and will pop that one. Can't get it to go. A nice rebound there from Chris Brown, who you highlighted a moment ago. And it's Brennan Peterson pulling things up and settling things down for Dream City Christian. They're on top here. Here's Chris Brown for 3. Can't get that to go. Rebounded by Trey McKinney, the other 6'6" forward on this Dream City squad.
Feels like every big these days can just stretch it from 3 and just be able to shoot it. It's unbelievable.
Cameron Cooper floater, can't get it to go, and they're going to get a foul on Andrew Merhi as the clock continues to run. Dream City Christian up by 25.
And it's tough because LV Orange, like this is, like we said earlier, Nevada State champions, and this is just a different caliber of basketball team, especially with Dream City Christian today. And then they played Utah Prep last night, who has J.J. Mandequid, who's one of the top recruits, and then A.J. DeBonza, who is making a case to be the #1 pick in the 2026 NBA draft. He is a special, special talent. So LV Orange, this is a really good team, like who's going to win a ton of games and potentially could win another state championship, but just not quite at the same level as some of these nationally, type of regarded prep programs.
And Dream City Christian up 73-48. Here's Brandon Peterson again with the layup. He's quietly put together a very strong contest. Has to be near 20 points.
Makes open shots, plays defense, passes the ball, doesn't take bad ones. Like, that's good stuff right there.
And there will be some substitutions here for LV Orange. The clock stops briefly at 1 minute and 18 seconds. And the benches have emptied. We've got Trey McKinney with the ball now, driving to his left hand, kicking it back out. A nice move. I think that's Noah Grossman who freed himself up and knocked down the shot. I don't think it'll count. The call was on the floor. Here's Grossman again, driving, trying to free himself up, get his 2 points on the stat sheet, and he finally does.
Silky jumper.
It is a really nice jumper from Noah Grossman, 6'3" guard coming off the bench here for LV Orange in the final seconds. Brennan Peterson with it. This will be the last possession with a shot clock. And in rhythm, Chris Brown fired it, and it's rebounded by Baktadze, and he fires it home for a slam.
Just so impressed with the way that Dream City Christian operates.
That one a little bit short. Rebound. That one short as well. Brown with the rebound, pushing the pace a little bit. Only 13 seconds left in the ballgame. Now 12. Peterson likely to settle things up. It's 77-50 with the final 5 seconds coming off the clock. And that'll do it. Dream City Christian with the win, 77-50 over LV Orange. And there is our player of the game, Braden Bowe, the Utah State commit, a 4-star. There's your double-double.
And 5 assists to go along with it, just hyper efficient. We saw him. I think the only one thing he'd want back was that missed dunk, but that would have been an absolute poster if that had gone down. But yeah, he's going to be a big-time player for Jared Calhoun at Utah State. Braden Bowe, they found a good one.
Absolutely, and you saw Ikenna Alozie all day, the 5-star ranked number 12 in the class, put on a clinic of his own. Also had a dunk that he would like back that ends up going off the rim. But Dream City Christian just proves to be a little bit too much for LV Orange. They win this one 77-50. You've been watching the Border League, presented by the United States Marine Corps on League Ready. For Isaac Trotter, I'm Anthony Pasquale. Thank you guys for spending your Saturday afternoon with us, and we will talk to you guys next time on League Ready.